Thank you for listening to another edition of Interview with DJ Nocturna. I'm speaking to Detroit artist, singer-songwriter, and rock star, Josie Pace. And I don't know how to introduce you. I guess you're a producer, bandmate, and friend.
Yes.
And Robert.
Yeah, that's
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me both. Both of you guys coming on. You know, the very first time I heard your music, I can't remember where it was, but I know you did an acoustic version of Mad World.
Oh my gosh.
And,
that's a long time ago.
Yeah. I was searching for the, that's my favorite album, that debut album, The Hurting. And that's my favorite song by Tears for Fears, because I'm so old school. And I guess I must have been looking for it. And like, I come up with all this. A lot of people that do covers of that, but you do it beautifully.
Thank you.
And I remember that. And that's why when I was reading stuff about you, I'm like, oh yeah, that's her.
It's me. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know that that album was very personal to Roland or Orzabal. Yeah. Yeah, and because it's about child abuse, and that's the theme of the song, and it's a very personal album.
Yeah.
And then I heard you doing a cover on Chris Cornell, and I said, "Whoa."
Yeah, we actually recorded that the day he died. I called Josie on the phone and I said, "Get down to the studio. Chris Cornell just died, and we're big fans."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
So
oh my God.
We wanted to do it that night, and we figured I didn't want to do it later on. I wanted to do a tribute that evening. So we literally, she knew
I was at work all day, and
Yeah.
then he was like, "Get to the studio as soon as you can after work." So I mean, I got off work at like 8:30. And it takes me an hour to get to the studio. So I drove an hour after that to come down and record it. And we did it in what, 2 takes?
2 takes, and then posted it online the same day he died. So it was a tribute. So
wow, that's really hard to do because his vocal range is like just amazing.
Yeah, it's I had already been working on that song because I mean I'm a big fan of Chris Cornell, but that song was definitely one of the harder ones, vocal wise for me. I just kind of stretched my range there.
No, you did it well. That's hard to do. I know, because Chris Cornell is just amazing with his vocal range. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that can do that. I mean, I can't sing Chris Cornell, I mean, that's just, I mean, I do karaoke, but not Chris Cornell. So I know you're from Detroit, and I know you come from a musical family. Right. Which of your family members are musicians or musical?
Well, on my dad's side, my dad is a singer and he plays the bass guitar. So I got my singing from him. And then on my mom's side, my grandpa actually plays the drums, which my mom always loved to dance around, and she loves every drum beat ever. I mean, she loves my drummer too, but kind of both sides melded together and produced this.
Yeah, because I know your main instrument is the guitar, and you also write music through your guitar.
Yeah, that's how I write every song, and then I bring it to this guy and he makes it into some synth masterpiece.
Yeah, I know you guys worked really good together. I noticed that, and that's why I was going to ask about him, and I'm glad he's here. Maybe he can answer it for me. You guys work.
I'm holding it hostage.
I wasn't expecting him to be on here, but I'm glad he did. But I know you guys work really well together, and that's really the magic of musicians, and finding somebody that works right for them in order to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a collaboration, right? So what is it that the question for both of you, I guess, what is it that one of you guys have brought to the table that the other person has not?
The looks.
Wow. That's good. Yeah. I got the brains, you got the looks. Let's make lots of money. Yeah.
We gotta get the money. I don't know. We both
right? Well, Josie brings she writes songs differently than I do. So and so when she brings me a song that she writes on her acoustic guitar, I have to like take that and then I have to turn that into some sort of electronic all synthesizer kind of thing. So it makes it it's a challenging thing at first when we first started working, but we work really actually pretty smoothly now. We got the formula down.
Yeah.
But it made me, working with her made me look at writing synthesizer parts or writing electronic music differently than normally that I would write electronic music. And because I have to incorporate the chord structures and the song structures that she comes up with, as opposed to just coming up with some cool loops and beats and stuff like that, and then writing lyrics over that. You know, that in the genre of music that we play in, that happens. That's a lot. You know, someone comes up with a cool beat, they come up with a cool thing, they do this stuff, and then they sit down, they try to write lyrics to that stuff. Where it's kind of the opposite here, and it's really opened up me personally as a songwriter to something that's, you know, more challenging and different. You know, we both play guitar. We both play, you know, anything, everything you name it, we can all play it. Including our drummer, Mark Damian. He's a multi-instrument. He can play bass guitar, drums, keyboards. You know, and we all play every instrument. So it's pretty easy to.
That's awesome
to do that.
How did you guys connected?
Through Mad World.
Yeah, through the video that you saw.
Yeah.
She probably saw the one on the radio show.
We did it on the radio show, and she was on a radio show here in Michigan, and we told this story about us meeting, and they wanted to hear her version of Mad World. That was the first time that I kind of put her on the spot to play Mad World.
It had been a while, but it's a pretty easy song.
You know, I didn't know that, and that's funny how I mentioned that first. You know, that's the first thing I mentioned. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, she did that song. It was a different version of the one or a different video of the one that you've seen that's online.
I'm sure mine is
long gone. Yeah. I was thumbing through the internet and looking. You know, I had been looking for someone to work with and produce music with, and I just happened to scroll by her page. I don't know. We were mutual friends of friends on Facebook, and I saw her singing Mad World, just sitting on her bed, singing the song. And I thought that it was just like you said earlier, believable and genuine. And when it comes to singers, I have to believe them. Even though Josie didn't write that song, I believed her when she was singing it. She sang it with believability and passion, and she didn't over sing it. That was the thing that really grabbed me. In today's world of American Idol and The Voice and all the other 1,000 other TV shows that are out there, a lot of young singers out there think that that's how you're supposed to sing, and that's not how you're supposed to sing. That's television singing.
You can save some for another song.
Yeah, that's television singing. That's totally different. When you're writing a song or singing a song, the passion and the believability is more important than some stupid high note or some run you do with your vocal, you know, in the thing. And she didn't do that at all. It was a straight cover. It was emotional. It was that. And I went, I got to work with that person. And so I stalked her for like 3 months. And
how old was I? This was
five, 6 years ago. Yeah. So you were like 20,
like 21.
21?
Yeah, I was like 21. I was still like young, and I was like, stranger danger, don't talk to this guy. But yeah, every time he like tried to talk to me on Facebook or something, I was like, nah, I shouldn't talk to you. You sound like one of those guys who says they're a producer, but they're really not. Because I had gotten some of those previously to him talking to me. But then I was doing a photo shoot in Detroit with actually one of his friends, and I didn't know it. And he called him and was like, hey, are you shooting Josie? Can you just tell her who I am and that I'm not a creep? And then we started working with each other, and we're lucky that we hit it off so well and started working with each other so well. And I'm very appreciative of it.
And you're from Detroit too?
Yep.
We're in the condo that we live in together. So
really?
So,
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I know that you guys connected through music, and I'm sure you guys have a history of music that you like, type of genre. And I know it looks like it's more like classic rock and rock and roll, right?
Yeah. I grew up on classic rock because that's all my parents would listen to in the car when I was younger. That's kind of like all that I thought was out there at the time.
We both grew up on all that kind of stuff. You know, I grew up more with like, Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, The Cure, Netzareb, Nine Inch Nails, all those bands. And so we kind of meshed her love of like, you know, like
Classic
her
rock
classic rock star
songwriting, yeah.
songwriting. And I mean, but my favorite band of all time is the Beatles. So I mean, so you just can't, you know, like, you know,
As
Yeah.
long as it's good.
yeah,
we
as long
listen
as it's
to
good,
it.
yeah. We actually listen to more, even though we write kind of harder industrial electronic music, electronic rock music. It's funny, we don't listen to much of it. And I mean, I listen to all the classics. I'm sure I have every Ministry record, every Netzerev record,
Mhm.
every Frontline Assembly record, every, you know, all those things, you know, every Cabaret Voltaire record, every, you know, everything that was made
Yeah.
on wax tracks, all that kind of stuff. But on the general basis, we'll listen to, I mean, she'll be listening to the Eagles, or we listen to Genesis, and you know, the Beatles. We were listening to the Velvet Underground today while we were
Yeah.
shopping.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
so that's the stuff that we pull from more than I would say, like, I you know, I feel bad. I can't name very many, you know, besides our label mates of other industrial bands that are new and stuff like that. I just
Yeah.
I just kind of grew up on that kind of stuff, you know.
I mean, I certainly understand that, because for me, I play this every week. I have a radio program and I play the music in the genre. So when I
Yeah.
go in my car, I put in some disco and some, you know, some classic R&B and some classic
Yeah.
rock.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's
we're
just
huge Motown fans too. Well, we're from
Yeah.
Detroit, so it's kind of like
Yeah,
it's
that's
ingrained in here.
Motown.
So, yeah, so
It's so lucky you're like in that capital where there's like music that's just amazing from Detroit.
It is not as good as it used to be, but it's definitely the
Oh.
roots are still there, which is
yeah,
nice.
there's a weird dirtiness and edginess to anything that comes out of Detroit, whether it be anything from Motown, like, you know, the
Even
Temptations,
country
or Iggy Pop, or you know, that kind of stuff that came out of Detroit. Jack White, you know, that kind of that.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of dirty edge to it, and we like it that way.
Yeah.
It's not overly polished. It's somewhere between and it makes sense. It's somewhere between New York and LA. New York is a little more artsy. LA is a little more glammy, and Detroit
Polished.
sits in polished, and Detroit sits in the middle, where we get a little bit of the artsy and the dirty, and a little bit of the glammy and the stuff. And we kind of meld it together. You know, that's the sound of Detroit that I think is out there.
So I know a lot of your music is personal. You're a songwriter,
Yes.
and I know you collaborated with Sammi Doll from IAMX and Kat Von Du. I like that song, "Personal," "Perfect Replacement."
Thank you. Yeah.
That's an original piece, right?
That's one of mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had started working with Sammy on that a few years ago. I think we had just released Perfect Replacement in January of 2020. So that was pretty new.
Yeah, about a year and a half old.
And I know that Raymond Watts did a remix of that. I don't know if you I've interviewed Raymond. Past.
Yeah, Raymond's a good guy.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
We opened up for him twice, yeah. And when we were thinking about having a remix done, I'm not a big fan of remixes. I spend months.
Not a lot of people do them right.
Yeah, I spend months and hours and a lot of time making sure all the keyboard sounds and everything is the way I want them on the song. So to kind of turn that over to someone else is harder for me probably than it is for Josie. But when we decided to have someone do a remix, Raymond was the first person I thought of, and what he turned in was absolutely amazing. It was exactly the opposite of what I thought I was going to get, and I loved it. I thought I was going to get some sort of like hard, like, you know, really industrial sounding thing, and he went like Future Sounds of London, like 90s, like Future Sounds of London, Manchester sound kind of thing, and then he had like a harder chorus, and it was, you know, really, really interesting. He shows the diversity of an artist that he is such an amazing artist. So,
you know, I don't know if you ever heard his version of Frankie Goes to Hollywood, The Power of Love. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so different, but it's beautiful. And you know, I would never expect that from him, you know, but he, you know, that's such a beautiful, I mean, it's a Christmas song in London from what I heard. It's it's, I don't know. Somebody told me this. I mean, I think it's a love song. It's definitely a ballad, but he does it so, it's so painfully beautiful, I can say.
Yeah, he was really nice when we called him up to do the remix.
Yeah.
He was actually in the middle of recording his album at the time, and I sent him the song. He sent me an email back, goes, well, I'm in the middle of recording my album right now. I don't know if I have time to get to it. And so I sent him the song, and then like a half hour later, he gets like, dude, this song is awesome. He goes, I'm going to do the remix right now. I'll stop my record to finish your remix, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So.
And I also like the other acoustic thing you did is called Underestimated.
Yeah,
that one.
That's not out yet technically. You probably have it because you belong to the press.
Yeah.
You have the press kit.
You have the press in the press kit. In the press kit, that's a song that comes out November 12th, the electronic version, and then the 19th or the 17th, a week later.
Yeah.
The acoustic version will be out to the world also.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are songs that are going to be on the new coming album that comes out in February of 2022.
That was what I was going to mention too. That one comes out. The new album is on Negative Game.
Yep.
Negative Game.
Yeah.
And when would that? What's the album called?
The album's called Noxious, but it's written in leet speak. So we use numbers and letters to create other letters. So it's spelled IV0X10V5 instead of how you'd regularly spell noxious, but that's what it's called.
It's called Noxious.
Okay, is that okay to announce that? Because
yeah.
The album comes out February 11th. It's called Noxious. Yeah. It's a Negative Game.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Wow. So can I play this songs?
Oh,
well, I don't have to.
Probably you can play Pure Morning and you can play Perfect Replacement, but
okay.
Underestimated and Storm and Stress and Future and some of the other things that are in the press kit for the press.
Okay, all right. No. Well, it's going to be mentioned because so now people are going to hear this, but it's okay, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, more buzz about the songs, the better. Have them wait. That like I said, within a month now, with less than a month, the Underestimated will come out.
Okay. Well, everybody be getting ready for that one. That's a beautiful song. Truly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like ballads.
Yeah. That was my thing growing up. I had such a hard time with it because when I had graduated high school, I was like, well, I can start playing bars and stuff and playing cover shows at bars to make money. And the only thing that I wanted to play was like just straight ballads, all ballads, and everybody would just get so bored with me playing that. My dad was like, how about you try some other like upbeat stuff? And I was like, yeah, but this song really like speaks to me and I like the way it sounds. I like the emotion behind it. And that's not what you should play at bars.
Well, the cool thing with Underestimated, if you watch the acoustic video that is going to come out after the official video, if you listen to the electronic version, you get a really good idea of how we work. So you hear the acoustic version, and that's what Josie plays for me when we sit down together in the studio. And then you listen to the electronic version, and that's what the end result is. So it's kind of a neat kind of thing to see
start to finish
kind of thing by listening to the original acoustic version that she wrote. And then we turned it into this really hard, just really rocking song, and I like them both. I like both versions.
Yeah. So your single, which is a Placebo cover, that's the latest single, Pure Morning. That's with Sammi Doll.
Yep.
So that one is it was just released.
Yes, October 1st.
Yeah. And that's the one that's stuck in my head right now. But and this is also your first release from Negative Game.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's our
first single release for Negative Game. Although that song won't be on the album. That song is only a single release. Yeah.
Oh, it won't be in the album.
It won't be on the album. No.
Oh,
It's just being released as a single. The next songs that are coming out will all be on the record.
So how many songs do you have in that new album?
For the vinyl, 11. And then for the CD, we do have a bonus track that will be on it. So there's 12 in the CD.
Will you be releasing more singles before the album comes out?
Yep. So every month until February, we'll be releasing a song and a video that goes with it.
Yeah.
We'll be playing that then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, we ended up recording 7 music videos because we couldn't play live. So we pretty much have a music video for almost every song on the record. So
Yeah. So who does the production for the videos?
Me.
That guy.
Me and Josie come up with most of the concepts and the ideas. I direct it, and then I hire camera people and all that stuff. But yeah, I
He's kind
usually
of the idea guy.
I kind of come up with the ideas for the videos, and then I would, I write storyboards out and figure it all out, and I direct all the videos. So.
Yeah, that's great. Now, Josie, I know you're an inspiration because you're an independent woman.
Thank
Okay.
you.
In the music
Showing it.
industry. Yeah. You're an independent woman in the male dominated industry, right?
Oh yeah,
For so many years, it's been that way.
Yeah.
Did you find any challenges in your journey?
There are so many of them. If that we could call out people,
If
but
I
we
could
won't do
call them
that.
out, I would. All I'm gonna say is, there's just so many things.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't say it to another guy in a band, but just because I'm a girl, they're saying it to me, and they just don't see the connection there.
Yeah, one things that we learned right off the bat working together was that we decided to play good cop, bad cop when talking with any industry people.
Yes.
Whether it be the press, whether it be record executives, whether it be booking agencies, club owners, you name it. We play good cop, bad cop, because what happens is
if I'm bad cop, I get labeled a bitch.
Absolutely.
And as much as I don't care, I still want to be liked. Obviously.
Sure.
Everybody wants to be liked.
Yeah. So we find out that if we don't like certain, like if there's something wrong with a show that we're about to play and they don't have the correct sound system, or there's something's wrong, and Josie's the one that comes up to the club owner and complains,
nothing will get done.
Nothing will get done. The guy just thinks she's a bitch. If I come up to him and say it, he takes me seriously, and I'm a strong male figure. It's totally bullshit, and we cannot stand it. It is terrible.
It is terrible.
It's terrible. But we've seen it all throughout the music industry, and so
and that's the reason I asked, because I know that is out there.
It's out there. Oh yeah.
And you're lucky you have him.
I am lucky that he's not like that.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I don't mind being. I'll be the asshole. Like
sometimes I'm an asshole.
Yeah, let the guy yell at me about it, and stuff like that, instead of having it be her, because she didn't get her brown M&Ms backstage or something. So
I'm not that petty.
She's not that petty. So, but
they are my favorite.
But yeah, we've had industry people tell us things that
I should smile more.
Oh, never tell a girl that she should smile more. Oh my God.
I don't want to smile. I don't want to smile.
Yeah.
I don't have to walk around like this all day. Like, I'm making your life better.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I really hate that when people say that to me. They say that to me. Well, how come you're not smiling?
Because
you don't have to.
There's nothing to smile about right now. What if someone just died and I was like, should I smile then? No.
Yeah,
that's don't know what people are going through, right?
Exactly. Don't assume what people are going through.
Yeah, and don't women are not here to make you feel better. It's you're not.
If anything, we make you feel worse.
They're not here to you're not supposed to smile so you feel better about your day. That's just ridiculous. But yes, we've had to deal with it a lot. But we laugh about it and joke about it and just move on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you've come a long ways.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing really good. Yeah. And but before I forget, do a big shout out to Christian at Fading PR.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Christian.
And hopefully he'll be listening to this when it comes out. And yeah.
You
have the aura, the look, and the performance of a true rock star.
Thank you.
And you do, you got the hair, and I've been wanting to add, you got the hair, it's very I don't know, very Joan Jett like, very Pat Benatar, kind of thing. And you also got the fashion. So I was gonna ask, where do you get your fashion? Where do you get your
my clothes? No,
yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a designer at one point in my life. That wasn't one of the top three though.
No.
And so I had started like looking through fashion magazines when I was younger, and I really, really loved Vivienne Westwood and
Oh yeah, me
Alexander
too.
McQueen. Those were my two favorite
Who's the
designers.
other one?
Alexander McQueen.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love his
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
we love his stuff a
so
lot.
much.
I mean, you have
So-
that look. You got the Alexander McQueen going on
Thank you.
with your jackets.
Oh yeah. Even
Yeah.
like in the music scene, Joan Jett and Pat Benatar were two big ones for me, and they were women. So I was like, man, I could dress like that. I'll dress like that any day. And growing up through high school, I always dressed kind of weird, and it wasn't like always good looking, but it was something that I wanted to wear. But I usually just, whenever I find something that is studded or patched, I have to get it.
Or Josie makes
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, Josie
mean, do
did
you
this
make
up
it?
for me. She
Do you
Some
did
of
this
them.
jacket for me. She made it up.
yeah?
And put all the pins in it and did all the stuff
Yeah.
for me.
I like to stud a lot of my own
Yeah,
jackets for stage performances and whatever. But
we send emails back and forth to each other, and well, pictures of clothes more than we send music to each other. The style of the band was a very important thing when we first started. We
Oh yeah.
specifically went out and like growing up, my favorite bands were Duran Duran and David Bowie, and fashion and style with those two
Fashion.
bands.
Yeah.
It was marriage hand in hand. Like the music was just important with those bands as it was the style, and that's how I wanted to do this. Is like
Yeah. So do you guys believe that fashion and music should go hand in hand?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
absolutely, yeah,
definitely.
absolutely, yeah.
Because,
And it
you know,
doesn't have, it doesn't have to be like
it
our
doesn't have to be
fashion.
this.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm a big, I was a big Ryan Adams fan, or John Mellencamp even. He still had a style. He still had, a look. He still had a thing. It wasn't necessarily he didn't look like Gus or didn't look like David Bowie.
And
but
he owned it.
He owned it when he did it.
too.
So it doesn't matter what kind of
Yeah.
music you play, whether it's country or rock or bluegrass or whatever. You have to have your own style and your own aura, and you have to own it. I think so. Fashion is a big part of all music.
Yeah.
So how did the collaboration with Sammi Doll take place? How did that happen?
Well, when we had started working with each other, Sammi Doll plays for a band called IAMX, and I had never heard of them, and they're one of Ken's favorite bands
of all time. Yeah.
So he was like, well, let's go see an IMAX show. They were playing at the Shelter here in Detroit, and we went and we saw them, and we were standing in front of Sammi the whole night, and she was amazing. And Ken just turned to me and he goes, well, we're going to be friends with all these people and we're going to be working with them one day. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Because we had just started getting to know each other. And then our manager at the time was like, well, why don't you send her an email? Just send her an email. It's not going to hurt anything. So we sent her an email, and she sent us an email back, and she was super, super excited to work with me. And we sent her Perfect Replacement. That was the first one that
we even sent her a demo of it. It wasn't even
Mhm.
the final version. We sent a demo over to her, and she emailed us back right away and said, I love the song. I'm on the road with IMX. She at the time she was on the road with IMX, and she said, I'll be in Chicago like in 2 days. I put you guys on the guest list. Detroit's like a 4-hour drive to Chicago.
Mhm.
She's like, come to Chicago. We'll hang out after the show and we'll talk about the song and we'll come up with ideas and stuff like that. So we went over to Chicago, saw them play live, and then hung out with them in the band afterwards and talked to her till about 4 a.m.
It was
about the song.
a long night.
A long night. And then I think then we flew out to LA and we tracked
my vocals here, and then we went and saw her track her vocals.
We went to the studio in LA and tracked her vocals in LA, and then came back, finished the song, and then went back out to LA and shot the music video out in LA with Sammi. So
yeah,
that's a really good collaboration.
Yeah, she was perfect for it.
Yeah.
No, it's just great to see two women who are like really like out there going, just rocking it,
Yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She's
you
great.
too.
She's really nice. She's friendly. So
yeah. Now I read somewhere that you don't have tattoos.
Nope.
Yeah.
No tattoos.
Neither one of us.
Yeah. And do you think you'll ever get one?
I used to say yes because I really wanted a tattoo because everybody wanted
everybody
a
in your
tattoo.
generation has a tattoo.
That's true, except me. But I don't know anymore.
That's great, actually. I'm just letting you know. I like that. That's actually a good thing because you're being who you are.
I tried.
Yeah.
I talked her out of it for a very long time. Like I mentioned it when we first started working together. I'm like, don't get a tattoo. And she's like, what? And I'm like, don't get a tattoo.
It makes sense.
I go, here's the thing. David Bowie didn't have any tattoos. Well, he did, but it was on his foot and he got it really late in life. He got it after he was 50 years old. So,
You're up.
yeah. So he never had any tattoos and neither does Madonna. And so what that allowed those two artists to do was to change and be chameleon to anything they wanted to do. And nothing tied them back to any other thing. Right. If you're covered in tattoos, you're always the person that's covered in tattoos. You cannot chameleon out of that and go to a different thing. And Bowie was my hero, and I watched how he would do stuff. Every project, he would just change. And Madonna was the same way. She would morph into some other character and do that. And if she had like some tattoo across her neck, that wouldn't allow her to change and morph and do that. That would still pull her back. So
and if you wanted, and if you were asked to like play a role in a film, then you had a tattoo. Yeah, that's another thing too.
Then they're covering them up. So
don't get me wrong, I love looking at tattoos, but
I love tattoos.
They're not for everybody.
I mean, I have some tattoos, and honestly, to be honest with you, sometimes I wish I didn't get them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not that I don't. I have a lot of friends. I have tattoo artists who are my friends are tattoo artists. I love people with tattoos, and that's cool. That's everybody's choice.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what it is. It's art.
Yeah, it is art.
To be looked at.
Yeah, I just never found anything that I really wanted to have in my body.
nothing worth having for forever.
You can put David Bowie somewhere.
I would get something like that, but I mean,
I'm just joking.
I like the idea that we got this record coming out, and this is how.
Yeah.
We have no idea. The next record, Josie could shave her head. She could have black hair. She could do something totally different. We could decide to do a totally acoustic record, or we could do a all piano record, or we could do something totally different. And
it could. It's not saying I would.
Yeah, but it allows. I think without having any kind of like thing that ties you back. That it leaves you open to change.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of change in music. You
gotta keep
that's good. That's great. No, I totally agree. Yeah. That's why I asked, because it was something that stuck out, in my mind. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And for my generation, it skipped my generation. So when I was Josie's, nobody had tattoos when I was Josie's age. It was you were a sailor or you were in the military. That's
that's true. I know what you mean.
Or you were in a biker gang. It was rarely. And then the rock stars that did have tattoos, they had like one or two. Like Bon Jovi had a Superman thing on his arm. That was it. I mean, they weren't super heavily tattooed until later on, and then it's more of a newer generation thing where everyone gets heavily tattooed. So. But hey, it's cool. It looks great on a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah. So this wonderful album will be coming out again. So tell me the title of the album again.
Noxious,
but it's spelled differently. Yeah. Yep. And that's coming out on Negative Game.
Yep.
February 11th.
Okay, great. We're looking forward to that.
Right before Valentine's Day. It will make a great Valentine's Day gift.
For your significant other.
So is it like is it a lot of ballads and heartbreaking? Oh, okay.
I don't think any of them are about love.
No, and there's no slow songs whatsoever.
Technically one is about a friend, which is love. It's a love song, but it's also about terrible things.
So.
But I mean, everybody writes about what they write about. I just write about what I know. So
no, it's a banger of an album. It's 11 songs that are pretty hard.
So looking forward to that, and looking for all the singles that come out before then. And so if somebody wanted to reach out to you, your josiepace.com.
Yep, josiepace.com.
And then also on Bandcamp. Or
Bandcamp, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook.
Do we have a MySpace?
No, we don't have a MySpace.
We should get a MySpace. I'm totally setting that up now.
You can reach us at Negative Gain Records. You can reach us at Fade in PR.
Are we on Summit Arts? Yeah.
Summit, our
Arts
manager,
Management.
Lucas, we're managed by Summit Arts management team. So who they do Combi Christ and
King
King
810.
810 and a bunch of other cool bands. So
Yeah, well, thank you both for joining me. Anything else? You have anything coming up live? I know we can't really do anything in concerts, but
we have a show on October 30th at the Token Lounge with Combi Christ, Davy Suicide, and Modern Mimes.
yeah, that's in here in Detroit. So.
Yeah. That'll be our first show since February of
First show
2020.
since COVID shut us down. So
oh, well,
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
well, gosh, thank you both for joining me.
Yeah,
And,
thank
you.
you. It was
Thank you.
awesome.
And I'm gonna just turn off the recording. So what? Let me just thank you very much. Anything else to mention? That's it. Okay.
no, thank
That's
you.
it.